All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am officially on time for doing a zodiac reading. So, happy New Year or astrological New Year. This is Aries season's reading, and I'm really excited about Aries season. It does feel like a fresh start. Um, Not necessarily in the best of ways, but like I'll take it. I'll take a fresh start. Why not? So we're just gonna look into kind of what to expect with the energy throughout Aries season, kind of from like the start of the season over to the end. I think we're just gonna do like that in segments. So like this is all like the beginning of Aries season, and then after we do that, I'll like reshuffle the cards and then continue. For those of you wondering if I'm going to start using more decks anytime soon, yes, I will be. I'm sorry that I've only been able to stick to a few decks at a time doing these readings. You might notice my room is always a mess, but truly I do have a fresh start. A lot of changes are coming, and when that time comes, I will probably have an easier time organizing these readings. So just bear with me. Yes. All right. Oh, and if anyone wants to book a private reading with me, you can email me or reach out to me in whatever format that you usually do for anyone who has regularly gotten readings from me. Yeah. If you're new, I do have my email provided in the description below. I have two emails on there, but it's the sunmashi email. The other email I don't really check as much. It's just connected to Zelle. That's another announcement I should probably make because I've had a few people reach out to me asking if I have Zelle. That was a while back, and I was like, I do not have Zelle. I'm sorry. But I officially have it now, so there is that. Okay, so let's look at the beginning of Aries season. We've got the Eight of Swords with the Devil, the Seven of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Knight of Cups. Cool. So for those of you who just kind of like get the vibe or like know tarot pretty well, the first like four cards are a little more intense, I would say, compared to the last card there. But I think it's a good thing. Earlier, I did see the Phoenix card, which is the world. So I already kind of have a feeling of what these cards are saying. But yeah, just to like look at them. So maybe the start of the Aries season, you still feel stuck and held back, restrained in some sort of way. You feel like you aren't quite seeing your fresh start. You're like, where is it? Where's my fresh start? Like, you know? And I think that's because also with the lunar cycle as well, and that things take time. Like even when like when New Year's happens and then it's like January 1st hits, but it still takes a little bit of time for it to really feel like a new year, even though it's technically the new year already. It's kind of like that. So even though Aries season just started and we do have a fresh start, it's still going to take some time to sort of transition towards that. Is what I'm getting. And the other thing is with the moon, the lunar cycle, that even though we're in Aries season, we are still only just on the full moon in Virgo from Pisces season. So we're in a sense overlapped between Aries season and Pisces season still. And maybe in about, is it 2 weeks? Maybe in about 2 weeks when it's the new moon in Aries officially, um, we'll see everything kind of catch up, if that makes sense. So this is kind of like the first week of Aries season. And they'll kind of just like, well, before I clarify them, I'll keep going with the messages. So that's like what this is sort of saying to me. Like it takes time for like old energy to sort of fall off, to perhaps die off, for it to really transform. Yeah. But I'm getting like it's happening a lot faster than you realize. I feel like at the start / maybe midpoint of this first week, you're still waiting, but like it just like kind of happens. So I feel like by the end of this first week, you already kind of feel a lot of changes for the better. See that? It's pretty cool. It's like the Death card and then the Knight of Cups. So it's like with that transformation brings rebirth and new life. So that's pretty cool. And love, perhaps like romance, for those of you who are seeing that, or like an emotional offer, a romantic gesture, an opportunity, someone offering their feelings to you, or you offering your feelings to someone, or both. But let's clarify. Okay, we get the Knight of, not Cups, Wands, Knight of Fire, adaptability, adjustment, and camouflage. So yeah, the beginning of Aries season, you might think you're stuck, but it's just more so that you're being careful, moving slowly, because there's a lot of resistance, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to go the path of resistance. You actually are meant to adapt and work around this resistance, if that makes sense. Like I'm just seeing like all these big knights moving one way really slowly, and you kind of have to like, they can't really see you that well, they don't really care, and you have to like kind of like, just like what the card is doing, be mindful and kind of work around these intimidating energies or inconveniences, so to speak, this daunting energy perhaps. The things telling you to go the other way, to run back, turn back now. Like that daunting energy, it's like be mindful, but like don't listen. All of those energies are actually going backwards. They're not moving forwards like you. These don't have to be real people. This can literally be energy in you that wants you to go backwards instead of forwards, due to like fear mechanisms and whatever, trauma perhaps, just like, or rational fears too, of course. Like, just like when you think about this idea, a lot of big, like, just makes sense kind of logic shows up, like, nope, you should turn back, that's a bad idea. But I'm getting like, whatever this is for you, it's a good idea perhaps. Obviously that's unique to everyone's situation and depending on how you're taking this reading and what you're thinking of, but generally if you're thinking of something that's overall positive, but there's just like energy that sort of psychs you out, and you just know that it's psyching you out, like the way forward, but there's like intimidating energy trying to push you backwards. Like, I'd say don't listen to that energy and to move forward instead. Clarifying the Devil's card, that's right, we got the World card, Phoenix, transformation, reinvention, and legacy. I'm getting like you're going to transcend the darkness. You're going to transcend the shadows. Transcend like those fear responses and things like that. Transcend those intimidating, daunting energies that are creating resistance. That's trying to make you go backwards another way. Or maybe not trying to. Like, I feel like these knights are just like doing what they do. They're just like walking forward, but it's backwards, and they just get in your way because like they don't care about anything other than just like left, right, like how the card looks. So it's like, I guess something I could say is like try not to take those energies or people too personally. They're just like doing what's pretty much been instilled into them, and that's rather sad in my opinion. If this is talking about people, for anyone out there, like if you can see specific people in your life that literally get in your way or like push you back or push you into a corner or make you to feel small, I'm like officially seeing how this can apply in my life in the 3D world. um, Anyways, it looks like you're really transcending that. And we've got dark matter. And I was just talking about like dark, transcending darkness and shadow energy. It says unseen forces at work, karma. So I was going to say that like you're transcending this like rather rapidly, but honestly, you might not feel that way in this first week. But like it does happen. I think in this first week, just like maybe nearing towards the end, perhaps around like Thursday, Friday, or when did Aries season start? It started yesterday. Yeah, wow, what a great way to start. It started on a Sunday. So yeah, maybe around like Thursday, Friday type of area, like you're really being presented an actual fresh start, a new idea, a new beginning. So yeah, I know that the next 3 to 4 days, for those of you who watch this like the day that I upload this, which is today's the 21st. So if you're watching this like right now, pretty much, and anyone wondering if you missed my live stream, you did not. I did that thing again where I went private live so then I can just upload this onto the channel. Yeah, I know it can be tough waiting even a few days, but I do feel like just keep going forward, even if it's small steps at a time. Honestly, like you're getting there. And it has more to do with the world, the universe, than it does with you. It's not like you haven't done something right yet or that you need to do something faster. It's none of that. It's that there's unseen forces at work that are trying to get everything ready for you. And that's going to take time. And if anything, you only need to make a few adjustments or steps forward over the next few days to really align with this energy of this new beginning. And these steps forwards, it's not like, oh, if I do this step, am I going to miss the path? Or if I do that step, am I going to miss the path? It's like these small steps forward is like literally take care of yourself. Like just make sure it's like make sure you're well rested, pretty much. Like drink enough water, um, keep up with the daily hygiene, perhaps, just to keep cleansing your energy. Any of you who love taking baths with whether like bath salt, like magnesium flakes, I'm just listing some things that we've got: shea butter, jojoba oil. By the way, really nice bath hack. I don't know, or tip for any of you out there, if you love taking baths but you just find your skin getting really dry, make sure to add some like moisturizing effects in there as well. So for example, maybe you have a bunch of bath salts and like or like an herbal blend of sorts. Make sure to also put in perhaps shea butter. I haven't had shea butter until just recently, so what I had been doing was just putting in some drops of jojoba oil. Maybe castor oil, I hear, is another carrier oil. Um, but yeah, something, and you'll notice that when you get out of the bath, your skin will feel very soft instead of dried out. And then I like to rinse off in the shower afterwards, and yet again apply more oil after rinsing off because you will dry out again the moment you rinse everything off from the shower. So that's my like bath shower routine. But anyways, like or keep yourself entertained, stuff that brings you joy. For me, that's playing Muse Dash. I've met up with a friend recently, and I you don't have to meet up with people either. It's just I'm just listing things that have happened to me recently or that I've been doing recently. Um, and I'm just getting like these small steps are the steps that I'm talking about. It's not like, oh, if you pick the red flag, or not red flag, if you pick the red shirt instead of the green shirt or instead of the blue shirt, like this will happen or that won't happen. It's not like, like And I'm only emphasizing on this because I know what it feels like to listen to a reading talking about how like something great is coming, but you just have to take some small steps along the way. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh my gosh, what if I take the wrong steps? Like, what if I miss it somehow, you know? And I'm trying to bring reassurance and peace and serenity instead of that. So relax is like, I think, the vibe here. Like trying to work through your fears and give it time. Give things time. Remind yourself that you have more time and that I know it's scary that what if you don't get to the good stuff and that you've waited for so long, like you've had so much patience so far, pretty much. Just the fact that you've made it this far, that tells me you have patience. We all on this planet end up having patience of sorts, because we're all like still here. Um, keep it up, like it. I don't know. It's happening. Like I know it's hard to believe because, especially for those of you who maybe get in those cycles of watching readings and it's been like years, and you're like, it's been years and nothing's happened. It's like clearly something has happened. Look back and notice like where you started and where you are today and how you're at a point that lots of energies out there in the world made you feel like you were never going to reach. Yet you did. People said you wouldn't make it this far doing what you're doing, yet you did. Like that's a victory. You are a victory. You are a success. Like you don't need to prove that to this world. You don't need to earn some status or whatever to prove your worth. You just are worthy. Like you're literally a living being. Every living being out there is worthy of life because we're living, you know? So just try to remember that for any of you out there who have a tough time with that. So the last clarifier is wormhole serendipity. And I just said serenity earlier in this reading. Shortcut and secret link. And at the end of the week, it's more of a dreamy thing. It's not like things have suddenly changed for you in the physical world, but that emotionally that you've really found peace. Internally, you found a lot more peace because you've gotten some sort of experiences at this point that have brought you joy, peace, serenity, showing you that synchronicities are a thing. Serendipity is kind of about like perfect timing of things. So I feel like at the end of the week, you're going to feel pretty rest assured that you're in sync with the universe. So that is the first week. Cool. I hope that resonates. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Okay. We're just going to flip them out. That was the 10 of Cups. Wow. So this is the second week of Aries season. The 8 of Swords is back. Sorry. I just think it's funny how that happens. And the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So yeah, you've reached some point of happiness from how the first week went by the end. And you still like are working through some like mental traps, but you're working through it, you know? 8 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, the working on it card. The Page of Swords, yeah, working on freeing yourself mentally from these limiting mindsets and beliefs, these limiting thoughts, like certain thought patterns that hold you back. You're building on it, working through it, seeing how to restructure it in a healthy way that makes you feel good about yourself. Yeah, cool. And then the Fool card. And once again, at the end of the second week, there's more new beginnings. So Aries season is really a season of new beginnings, of fresh starts. And it looks like you've gotten one, at least one in the first week. You've gotten another one throughout the second week. So let's clarify these messages. Oops. So if any of you are wondering how I shuffle when I put cards back into the deck, so I put them back on the deck. I mean, sometimes I do it differently, but in this case, I do that, and then like I shuffle and I keep track of where they are until I know that I have no idea where they are anymore. Does that make sense? So we've got Nebula. And then it's this one. And the Empress, Virgo. Cool. Okay, yeah, the effects of the full moon in Virgo are still in process. That's what I'm getting right there, because this card says theory, ideation, and process. Yeah. And I wasn't even thinking about that. I just saw the Virgo card, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is still like the moon cycle that had the full moon in Virgo in it. And then I just said it, and I was like, that's so cool that I'm saying the word process, because I'm pretty sure that that word's on this first card, the Nebula card. And then I checked, and sure enough, it is. So, cool. Okay. So, yeah, this makes sense. You're still working on clearing out the mental blockages that perhaps reflect into your real world. Like, these blockages make sense. These things that make you think you're stuck, it's not just in your head. It's because in the physical world, the Empress, in your Earth space, you are. There's things that do sort of confine you into a box. For me, it's this room. I've been trapped in this room or in this house for pretty much 2.5 decades. There were some instances where I kind of got out of it, but ultimately, after all of the trauma and everything, I wasn't out of it, and I still made choices that led me back here, you know? But anyways, my point is, like, sometimes when we think we're stuck, you know, like, because people say the Eight of Swords is like, you think you're stuck and you're trapped, but you're not. This is like, you think you're stuck and you're trapped, and you, in a way, can technically free yourself, but it's time to validate yourself that you're not crazy, that like the reason your thought patterns are the way they are is for an actual reason, um, for a reason outside of your circumstances, outside of your control. There we go. That it's just like, it's not your fault. And it's like, I feel like you're really empathizing with yourself, and you're learning how to provide for yourself tools, or how to receive tools, even resources that provide you physical healing and a shift in your environment to get to a place that is actually freeing, which will help you free yourself from thinking you're stuck. So I'd say it's like you actually have been stuck for a while, and that you're getting unstuck as we speak and over the course of these next several weeks and everything. It's all a process. So try to be patient. The Justice card, it's all turning out in your favor, Aquarius. Social justice, radical effort, rebellion. Yeah, it's like the reason why it's like that it's something that you think you're stuck in, but that you're actually capable of freeing yourself, is because you have free will. You can know that your circumstances are messed up, and therefore free yourself from the circumstances. Like, the thing that makes you like, okay, so it's not that you think you're stuck when you're not. It's that you think it's your fault that you're stuck. You think that, like, that because a situation can give you every reason to trap you, that you now deserve to be trapped. It's just like a mindset. I don't know how to put it, but it's like this card is like kind of like saying like enough is enough, and you're like standing up for yourself regardless of how the world is going to say things back or try and like gaslight you. You're like not going to get gaslit at this point. You're like standing up for yourself, and you're just like not going to back down is kind of what I'm getting to say. And then we've got the Venus card, beauty, love, relationships. So that could all be something about relationships as well for any of you out there that resonates with. But I'm also getting like, just to like start over with these messages, I'm getting like the start of the week, you're actually focusing on what you want, which is like love and happiness and prosperity and well-being and contentment. And you're like planting the seeds, or the seeds that you've already planted are like sort of blossoming a little bit. They're growing at this time. Spring is about blossoming and reawakening. And you're like preparing for your new life, maybe with a new partner, maybe doing what's right in terms of your relationships in general. Yeah, you're like doing the right thing throughout the second week. If you've experienced karma in terms of love and relationships, I'd say in like near the end of the second week of Aries season, some of you might get, for example, communication, apologies, silver linings, meeting halfway, the universe bringing in a new relationship if old relationships never come in to make things right. And then perhaps in the second week, it's the universe bringing in new relationships. This could be you deciding that you no longer want to wait on relationships and you want to build a relationship with yourself, or you deciding to get out there and find a new relationship. So it can manifest in a lot of ways. It just depends on where you're at on your journey. Obviously, we all hope for the one where just like someone just shows up and we don't have to do anything, but like it's okay to also be realistic with yourself and ask yourself like which feels most likely to you and your energy of like what do you feel like you're going to be most up for over the course of like a week and a half of like kind of waiting around and taking really small steps along the way forward, and some serendipitous moments occurring in your life. What do you feel like you'll be ready for in about 2 weeks from now, or like during the second week of Aries season? And that's more along the lines of like what this might be about. Or if you can see the trajectory of your journey very clearly, then it's probably about that. It really just depends. So try not to take this as some sort of like guarantee of what's going to happen in the second week, but more as like that this should resonate when you look back on your journey. But Page of Swords is a card of communication. So I feel like one way or another, you're creating communication or receiving communication, or both, when it comes to love and relationships and things that you want in life. And the last card we get is the Page of Wands, journey, navigation, route, with the Fool card, going on a new journey. So to me, if any of you are wondering if this is about old or new, it's about new. So anyone wondering if this might be a message about the past, this is about something new. With the Justice card, it could be that certain wrongs get made right between you. So like maybe you might work towards closure with some old chapter in your life or past relationships of sorts, perhaps. That's how I'm taking the message. But of course, this one person in my mind could always just never reach me again. Then okay. But like I feel like this is saying to those energies out there that have wronged you or me, like you, the viewer, that like perhaps these first 2 weeks of Aries season is a good opportunity to still make things right and to reach some solid closure, which by the end of the second week, if timing is really good, could allow them to accompany you on your new journey, but it's going to be in a new form because you've already worked through freeing yourself from the situation that you were trapped in, that you thought was your fault in some way, or that you thought like that because of the circumstances that you had to feel that way. It's like realizing you don't have to actually. Sometimes we do because it's just authentic to how we're feeling. But like you get to a point where you reflect and you like see the situation and you're like, you just processed enough and healed enough and felt it long enough to know that like you're ready to, like, obviously we all don't want to feel bad while we're feeling it, but it's like you really get to this point where you're actually feeling rather good. You're feeling content and happy with the way things are going to be turning out for you. Like, you might still be heartbroken about losing a relationship in the past, but you're happy about the new relationship moving forward. Again, for some of you out there, that could be about like losing a part of your journey. It doesn't have to be a literal relationship with a partner. It could be like an old narrative about yourself, and now you're building a new relationship with yourself. So just take the word relationship quite generally, as this is a general reading, and it's hard for me to read for everyone since everyone's in different circumstances. So that's what we're getting in the second week of Aries season. One, two, then the third week, and then we'll just close it out with the fourth week, and that's like good enough. So I'll kind of explain my process. So I just put the cards all on top here. See, these are all the cards that we had. And like, first when I shuffle, like I know that it's like right there. And I'm like, okay, it's generally right there. But now I'll like kind of split it like that. And it's like, maybe it's here. Maybe one of them ended up there. And then I just like keep going. And like, now I have no idea where any of them are. So that's how I shuffle. For any of you who are curious. Because I've seen people sometimes ask like, what's your process? How do you shuffle them? How do you know like which is the right card? I just wait for one. I'm a water sign. I'm a Pisces, so sensation, touch, physical feeling means a lot to me. So like that card feels right. I don't know. The Two of Wands, the first card that comes out. Sometimes a card will like poke at me. I don't know. I just choose to believe that these cards also carry with them energy because they literally do. Every atom and molecule and whatever in this universe is quite literally energy. So if we are alive, the energy keeping us alive is alive. You know, the air that we breathe, that we seem to require for life, must be alive in some form, you know? Two of Wands, 10 of Wands. That's cool. Like this one, I like when I pulled it, I like whoosh, did this like, I don't know, squeeze feel. I don't know how to explain it. Six of Cups. But I know that these cards are really interesting. Okay. Like what? I don't know if you guys saw, but it like landed perfectly. It like flew here and then like kind of like glided onto my lap. I don't know how to explain it, but it was really cool. Page of Pentacles. And then for people who don't get how like the cards are alive, basically, they're like, they're just cards. It's like, okay, like dang, that sucks. Like, I don't know. Where's the creativity? Where's the imagination? Where is that spark? That flame in your heart? I don't know. The Strength card. I was thinking about this card earlier because it's the card of patience and endurance. Whoa. Something tells me to just flip from here. Ten of Cups again. That's cool. The Four of Wands, the Ten of Wands again, the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. We did get a lot of repeat cards, but in the other deck. And that's pretty cool. So they didn't repeat from the same deck. They repeated from a completely separate deck, you know? Which I think is pretty interesting. So the third week, where's my cup of water? There it is. Okay. Third week of Aries season. What am I getting here? Deciding to let go of burdens. It's like you now can look back at your experience and you know how to move forward. And you know that you've just got a little bit more to go. And for some reason, like, it'll be a little bit of a process. Like, so I feel like some of you shifted out of a toxic situation or environment or a burdensome situation. And you, through that transition, might hold on a little bit, but you'll be letting go and you'll like feel it like imagine each one of these birds as a burden. That's interesting. And the birds flutter out one by one. So the burden's just kind of like, so it'll feel like release from heavy weight, from burdensome energy. So that's what I'm getting for the third week of Aries season. And it's like, while you're doing that, it's because also you've got true love coming in here, true happiness coming together with some like-minded energies. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be like finally the universe providing something for you that you knew you always wanted. Like you always wanted that car, I don't know, that electric car. You always wanted that that instrument. You might be able to guess that I'm just talking about myself right now. Like obviously you can have your own specific things that you always wanted, but something like that could be coming in if for those of you who are like not really resonating about like love in terms of a relationship. But I feel like a lot of you listening tend to come in for these readings specifically for that. Maybe not just for that, like you're here just for overall your journey, but like your journey, you feel like you're on a mission of love. That love is what actually matters most to you, which in my opinion, it should. I think love is really all that matters most. Because like that all of our wants, anything we could possibly go for, all of that can be like energized at our core by this concept called love, you know? So one way or another, like you're getting some support, some true love support, whether it's like as a person that's like a match to your energy, like these two, I don't know what these are, leopards, cougars, I don't know, tigers, saber-tooths, I don't know. They're really cool though. But it's like you both feel like you're like one and the same of a being of a symbol of love. But you're also two separate beings, of course, that have a life of your own. But you both stand for the same messages. So it's quite beautiful. And you coming together like fortifies, if you can see this, like these like ghost hands or whatever, spirit hands putting on this like crown, like that's because the two of you of these energies coming together like sort of symbolizes that union of love, that that message of what you both stand for, and it energizes it and amplifies it. Two heads are better than one, you know? And yeah, the Four of Wands is a card of like it's actually coming together, so it's quite nice. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. This is really talking about love to me, because the Six of Cups is like a card of reconciliation, of feeling mutual emotions, mutual feelings, mutual love, with a connection, someone you feel a really deep connection with, a strong spiritual bond. And yeah, towards the end of the third week with the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, I'm getting, if you haven't received any sort of, I feel like at the end of the second week, there was either receiving some sort of communication or whatever when it comes to love, or you deciding that you know what you're going to do to go on your journey to search for love. You know, the end of the second week was like you knowing what you're going to do. And the end of the third week looks like a real physical offer of that Knight of Cups offer that had been showing up for you the last several weeks. And that doesn't mean you can't meet anytime sooner. I'm just getting like, this is a process, and it could be at any of these points along the way that, like, bit by bit, blessing by blessing, things are happening in your favor. And at the end of the third week, it's like you've reached a real milestone here, the Eight of Pentacles, real progression here with the Wheel of Time, showing you that this patience was worth something. It was worth the wait. It was worth showing true strength of endurance, emotional endurance and resolve, of like wanting to give up because this is so difficult, holding on to hope for so long, but also feeling so proud of yourself for like getting here, and just like getting to see that like you really are a strong being, that you really got through it, and it really did bring you somewhere good. And you couldn't guarantee knowing that before. You just kept making decisions trusting that you know that what's ahead is going to turn out for the best, because it just makes the most sense to you. And you're not listening to those giant knights or whatever in that Knight of Wands card that we got, those intimidating, daunting energies. You're not listening to those voices anymore. You tuned them out and you did your thing, and here you are, and it's incredible. So I can't be sure, obviously, of what this is all about, and maybe it won't resonate for some of you out there or something like that. Depends on your journey, but I hope it does. I hope it resonates for me. These messages sound right, though, and I feel like when all we have is like, oh, there's the card. This is the one I was talking about, the Knight of Wands. You know, it's like, I feel like the universe isn't messing with me. I feel like the universe actually is trying to help and doesn't want to like just cheat and like teleport us to the future. So it's like, we'll have to wait and see. But it's like always a wonderful, beautiful, like magic trick to watch these messages really unfold. Because the trick is there's no trick. The trick is we do deserve to plan out our life. What? Who would have thought, right? What a concept. I saw the Hermit card, and then the Moon card jumped out at me, so we're going to take the Moon. You deserve to have a good life. I said that because there's a lyric in this song called Good Life, and it's like something about the moon that you could just reach out, I could take it, or something like take the moon. Got the Moon. So this is the fourth and final week of Aries season. We're going to pull 7 cards. Woo. And not for each day, but because the fourth and final week of Aries season is actually like the fourth week goes from the 10th through the 16th, but there's obviously still like the 17th through like the 21st. So we're going to just like pull some more cards just to like get the rest of Aries season. Wow. Oh, that's wonderful that it's leaving on the Three of Pentacles there. I'd say that that's like shifting into Taurus season. I shuffled this already, but I'm gonna shuffle again. Okay. So it looks like things are just continuing to come together. Like the third week and then like building after that, it's more of the same in the sense that things are coming together and it's not just that it's like you reached a point where you were like the wait was worth it, and then as cycles go, you still are in this feeling of like still needing to be patient, but this is for financial reasons at this point. This is for more physical reasons. It's still really emotionally taxing on you. It's still taking a lot of emotional endurance and strength, because now you're waiting. It's like you got that new beginning. It's there. You've got your like new life ahead of you, but there's still these challenges that weigh down on your heart about how you're actually going to make it work, maybe financially. And that's what that's like what the last several like weeks, the week 4 and like 4.5 or whatever, that's what that whole ending of Aries season might be about. Um, It can be about all the other things we talked about too, and some internal conflict about all of these concepts with the Five of Wands there, and finding conflict with others of like everyone wanting it to work, but nobody knowing how to really work together quite yet. But it's like nearing the end of Aries season is like that Ace of Wands, that idea where you are seeing in your heart, your intuition is telling you why that's going on and who you're meant to really be working with and what to do about it. So maybe there's going to be people that you're realizing you don't work together with very well, or that like they're not working well with you and you're feeling like more lonely because of that. So it's like you could be around people, but they're making it difficult to work together, and that's not your fault because you're like the peacemaker of the team. So it's like you're going to remove yourself from that situation and just try to figure out how to make it work with the right teammates who don't make it hard for you to work together with. The Three of Pentacles. You're going to find teammates that do work well with you. That doesn't mean you're clearing out anything with the people that you find conflict with. You might just see where they're at and have a lot of love for those people and patience and understand that they're just at a different point, and that they feel maybe a lot of pressure, and that no one should have to feel that pressure and burden. So you're just kind of like shifting your perspective and finding the appropriate resources. Yeah. That feel good for you too. You're not going to compromise your own well-being either. Okay. Queen of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Wormhole, Three of Cups, Knight of Wands, Seven of Cups, and Two of Pentacles. I think it is going to be those people though. I think the people that you're like having a tough time working together with are the people you're meant to be working with, but you're going to need to give them more time, basically, or you will need more time yourself. But I feel like the vast majority of you listening, it's going to be the other way around, that you're going to be needing to give them more time because you have the strength card of like needing to be patient and have some sort of emotional resolve. Like be prepared to maybe feel let down by some of your loved ones when it comes to working together and communication within the home or something like that. I'm just going off of what my circumstance is most likely going to be, but this could be about anything. And you might also not even be let down. Like it just like be prepared for some like moment that will feel like Mercury retrograde, for example. That'll feel like all these pieces are close to working together, but they like are still conflicting with each other. Like the Five of Wands. Like that's the whole reason I'm saying all this, pretty much. It's in the very center of this. So I feel like it's going to be one particular moment, but it could be like throughout as well with the strength card and the moon card. It could be like it's a little rocky and you're getting to the Four of Wands, you're getting to success and like accomplishment with this team, and then like somehow you all just like somehow like react in a way, and then it like your guys' personalities clash in some form, like your guys' way of doing things clash. So I'm just gonna like, it's not really anyone's fault, it's just that you're all unique individuals and you handle things differently. And I feel like you all care enough about each other to recognize each other's differences and to see why you all get triggered, because you're used to these daunting energies that like you're worried are going to be like, you're worried that your people that you're trusting now will turn out to be the bad guy, so to speak. You might not label them as the bad guy, but you're worried they'll like remind you, like some of it might remind you of your past, of like energies of people that didn't get along with you and like made you feel small or made you feel unnoticed or unseen, made you feel like going forward is backwards because everyone's going this way. Why are you going that way? Even though you're literally going forward and everyone in the scene is going backwards, but you're actually going the right direction, you know? So you might get triggered in some sort of way. But I think that happens often on our journeys. So I feel like try not to worry too much about this. Like the Queen of Swords, powerful ally. Again, I feel like you really came together with someone really special throughout Aries season. And like they're here now and they've offered you like something real numerous times. I got something like that in the second week, got something like that in the third week. We're getting the Page of Pentacles in the fourth week. So I feel like they're consistent enough where they're an actual ally, where they actually support you some way or another, and that they're here for you. So that's really, really cool. And then, yeah, at the very end of the season, we got the Three of Pentacles with the Two of Pentacles. And to me, the Two of Pentacles is like where you are, or the existing people in your life, or the existing routines and routes and environments and scenery in your life. So it's like, that's where I was getting, like, I feel like it is going to be the people that you're already dealing with at this point, and it looks like you all kind of get these new ideas on how to come back better than ever to really work on this together and to like do this. So if anything, I think where the conflict comes from is that you're all stressed and feel this pressure that I have to be the one to fix this. I have to be the one to save the day. Like you're all worried that you as individuals have to be the one to step up and do everything by yourself. But you're all like, wait, we all provide, we can all do this together, and learning to take the load off, like to not be so worried and to trust each other more. So there's like it's like a trust building exercise, I would say. Whatever this is about for those of you listening. And to me, this is about like finances, living situations, stuff like that, getting a routine going, trust that like you can plan out your life with these people, plan out the week, the day, and so forth. So yeah, I feel like it's like you, after that sort of triggering moment, there's like this worrying and anticipation of something going wrong in the group, in the gang, but it's like your worry was for nothing. Not for nothing, but like whew, oh, I'm glad I worried for nothing. That kind of nothing, you know? And feeling like relieved and feeling like working on things more. And that brings you into Taurus season. And Taurus season is a season of stability, of things being quite consistent. So that really stabilizes things for you by Taurus season. So that's what I have for this season, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed this reading. I am sending so much love and light out there. And yeah, I hope to be more consistent on the channel. And I'll be sure to give you all updates more really soon. For those of you who know, I said that I have a mystery announcement in April. So we are about 10 days away from April, so stay tuned. It might be more in the middle of April that I reveal my announcement, but yeah, you will all definitely be excited, and you will most likely be hearing more from me on this channel. Once you hear what the announcement is, you'll see the pros and cons and where I'm at. So like, keep in mind that it'll still be a process, but just know that my goal is to find my way back to you guys, to the channel, to myself and what I like to do, what I love doing. So yeah. Okay, bye everybody. Talk to you later.